What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and here is today's comic. That's right. Silver Surfer Black. That little bit of music you heard right in the beginning was the Oblivion soundtrack, the science fiction movie with Tom Cruise. Very underrated film. A little bit cerebral for many people. It's not a huge action flick, but if you like good sci-fi, high concept stories, highly recommend checking that out. Joining me today, as always, Stan the Man. Welcome, Stan, and his pal Forky. Forky, are you watching the drink today? Because last time that drink was a little sketchy. All right, so as you can see, I got myself a Milky Way, but not just any Milky Way. Milky Way Midnight. They used to be called Milky Way Dark, and I thought it was appropriate to have a Milky Way Dark with Silver Surfer Black. And people might say, Ash, what's going on? I thought you were Team Gummy. I am Team Gummy. But unlike those comics haters, cut. Unlike those candy haters, I like all kinds of candy. Milky Way, regular Milky Way is meh. The dark chocolate Milky Way, and also caveat, if you refrigerate it, this is nice and cold, so it's a little stiffer. It's not all just gooey. Who wants goo in their mouth, right? You gotta have a stiff bar in your mouth. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, I haven't had one of these actually in probably 10 years. But all this Candygate nonsense got me to thinking, I'm gonna try one. And I'm gonna enjoy it while I enjoy a good comic. And then we're gonna come back with the boys here and we're gonna review it. And we're gonna say, does this live up to the memories? Or should I go back to gummies? We'll see. And I'll see you soon. All right, we're back. See, that didn't take so long. As you can see, it's empty. I ate it. This, not quite as good as I remember. It's a little bit sugary, sweeter, less of the chocolate flavor. I think that's my problem with Milky Ways, is it tastes like sugar, and not the flavors that I'm looking for, like chocolate, caramel. They're there, but they're kind of subdued between just a big wall of sweet. And sweet should enhance flavor, it shouldn't be the flavor. And anyways, this is much better than a regular Milky Way because the dark chocolate does have much more pungent taste. So yeah, as I was saying before, I can appreciate all kinds of candy, even kinds of Milky Ways. Here, Forky, that's trash. You remember that. You're not trash. Milky Way's trash. But let's go to the comic. Let's turn down this music. I'm sitting here shouting over. That again is the Oblivion soundtrack. Goes so good with this book. Here we are, Black, 2 of 5. Donny Cates, Tradd Moore. Then we get all the little background, like what happened last issue, because if you're buying a miniseries starting in issue 2, you're doing it wrong. And it opens up kind of the way the first comic did, with Galactus and kind of the past, and Silver Surfer. In an ongoing series, I think this is the good way to do things, because people are jumping on, and they may not have got this in the first issue. But in a miniseries, I don't think this plays right. I have seen such wondrously... rewind. I have seen such wondrously horrible things so often that their memories have become hauntingly common. I recall Eleanor 143's volcanic layers glittering into the beautiful iridescent blooms as they dissipated out into the vacuum. I can still close my eyes and hear the rumbling of Massacron's bloodshed turbines. How they kept spinning, churning, and spewing war long after the planet came loose and empty into the destroyer's hands, world upon world, civilization after civilization. I have seen such wondrously horrible things. And I have witnessed the King in Black once, a long, long time ago. This is cool. I really like when writers can have a good setup to a story. As I was saying, I don't think it works here in a miniseries, although I did read the last issue, a month ago. So it's kind of good, kind of brings you back. But they get you this setup that oh yeah, I'm into the story now. That's I like that. Good comics will do that, and you'll notice when I do reviews of comics that do that, I will always read like this first page. So we see Silver Surfer. He's exploring this unknown planet. I would have had many encounters with the race known as the symbiotes over the years. This was my first. I recall the planet seeming to heave and breathe and swell in time. I've never seen a planet so attuned. And then, underneath it, at its core, something else. Something dark. You are not a planet, are you? It showed me its teeth. It told me I was unwelcome in this place. Ah! And then, it showed me its secrets. This planet, this hive, this swarm, this horde, it is a cage. All around me, I felt them, his children, billions of them, shaking in rage for him, and wrapped around that rage, deep instinctual fear of death, of me. Why? I could not understand then why this beautiful rage bore me such malice. Why do you fear me, little ones? I mean you no harm. But I do now. I do now. They fear me. And then this part threw me off. Now, the dawn of time. Because billions of years ago, I made their hidden god bleed. Okay, I'm confused. Now, the dawn of time. So, is this a flashback? Because this is all flashback. This seems to be present. It's now, but he's got the black hand, right? So it's present time. It's not in the past. We're here billions of years ago. He met this guy. Silver Surfer's not billions of years old. If anyone has insight, because I haven't followed Marvel for a long time, there's many, many Silver Surfer stories I've missed. Please enlighten me what I'm missing. A part of me, I try to quell briefly, shrieks in the shadows. Ha! Run all you like, little light. This would be a fitting end, it says. I am Null. I am the god of the dark. For a destroyer of worlds, darkness is the beginning. Darkness is the truth. God, this guy is so metal. To be devoured by one. Ah, do you know what that means? It means I am the god of it all. So, Surfer's getting in a clash. This is presumably, as my best understanding, the fight we left off at the very end of issue 1. This is where issue 1 picks up. This is all prelude behind it all. So here we are, Silver Surfer's fighting, and Null is using his powers to control the symbiotes and everything, and envelops our hero in symbiotes. And then we get to see this. Symbiote Norrin Rad. And that's pretty wicked, I gotta say. I'm not a big fan of Tradmore's art. It's very weird. It's very psychedelic. I said before in my previous video, like this would make really cool. One of those like black velvet art paintings that were popular back in the 70s, and you'd shine like a black light on them, and the black velvet would like disappear. It would just be pure blackness, but all the color that was not the black velvet would just beam super like neon bright. They really, I would love to see a poster like that done for this Silver Surfer art. It's okay. I can appreciate this in small doses. I know some people have trashed on this comic because they say the art is horrible. Yeah, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. Like, I don't think the art's horrible, but it's very subjective, right? If you think it looks ugly and unappealing, then you're not wrong. Everyone has their own opinion. I've been letting it grow on me, and I really like this wicked symbiote surfer. And what I appreciate is that it doesn't look like just another Venom, right? To me, this shows creativity as an artist and writers to make it like, why do the symbiotes always look like Venom? Why does Carnage just look another Why do they always have to look exactly the same? The original symbiote looked the way that it did because it was copying Peter Parker, is trying to emulate Spider-Man. And that's I can't say this enough. Like, I just think this is really cool that they're like, oh, when the symbiotes merge with someone else, they have a different look, and that's what Silver Surfer looks like, and that's wicked. And so we see Null talking, welcome, Void Knight. We are joined. We are one. You are special, aren't you? I feel great death in your heart. You have broken the light before. Do you know what must be done? It dies. That's such an awesome. And look at the surfboard. Look at the surfboard. It's wicked. And then all of a sudden, Harold! This just beam of light just burning him. Brace yourself. You might have said brace yourself before you started blasting him. But that's cool. Like, it's just Silver Surfer's like, what? What is this? What is? And then just massive power, like just going across the galaxy. This will hurt. And just boom to the planet, and Silver Surfer's just engulfed in it. And then there is light and sound and pain. And you see the symbiote just dissipating. And I am free. No, you dare. Always. Rad. Listen to me, Harold. You cannot defeat him. He's just Silver Surfer blasting him with everything he's got. Run, follow my voice. No. Silver Surfer's gone. I break away, pulling against the immense gravity of the planet gone mad. Malignant and mad. Silver Surfer's flying, going away, full speed. Look at this planet. Just this whole thing, this is symbiote, and it's just, whoa. I am so cold. And so then we see, very well. Very well. On your feet, Alkalites. So he summons his little minions that Silver Surfer fought in the beginning, and they're kneeling, waiting for him. I have a star to kill. And they're like, in an alien language. No, stay here, guard the throne. And be calm, my children. For I am the mood for a chase. He's got his dragon. Look at this thing. Fly, fly, fly as fast as you can. Faster, Norrin. I'm trying, and I'm still weak from my time in the... Did you say Norrin? Yes, Norrin Frad from Zenla, the Silver Surfer, herald of a being called Galactus, destroyer of worlds. But you are repentant, are you not? You are death. It weighs on you, the darkness. How do you know these things? The Silver Surfer's flying, but Null is right on him. So this must be incredibly fast if you can catch the Silver Surfer. And he's just flying with this cosmic dragon. Silver Surfer's flying and avoiding the teeth. And there's this really cool moment where Silver Surfer's like, I tire of the dark. The King in Black may devour my light yet, but he will choke on it. And so, sorry, it was really small. And he just flies through the dragon, just boom, 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 just erupting him from the inside, and then soars out the end. And his board is spinning around. And then, and you see all the dissipation of the symbiotes. Look at now, Norrin's arm is all black. He's expended way more of his energy. And he just collapses on his board, and he tells the board, follow the voice, hurry. I love how the board is sort of like semi-sentient. And so he's like here, collapsed on the board, and the board's just soaring. And he's like, the darkness is changing me. No, Norrin, not on this day. I see in your mind when you fought this god, this Null on this planet. A voice in your mind told you that you would deserve death. This would be a fitting end, it said, for a destroyer of worlds to be devoured by one. Today, Norrin, this changes. Because today, a planet will be your salvation. You're like, whoa, what's going on? Boom! My name is Ego. Shall we kill a god? To be continued. Holy crap, this was awesome. I just recently watched a Yellow Flash episode where he reviewed Silver Surfer Black #1. He trashed it. He crumpled up the book. I do not understand. I don't like this issue quite as much as the first one, but that's not any slight to this book. This book is awesome. Awesome. As a Silver Surfer fan, we don't get many good Silver Surfer stories. Silver Surfer usually shines outside of his books, right? He's a great Fantastic Four character. He was amazing in the Infinity Gauntlet. He gets, as a side character, and part of a greater story, love him. That's where he gets like his best stuff. And probably because he's being written by better writers that are doing some like major crossover event. And not actually getting that creative talent in his own book. But here he's getting Donny Cates. And this is the best stuff I've read of Donny Cates. This is better than Donny Cates' Venom stuff. The art is going to be a deal breaker for most. Some people are going to look at this and just be like, dude, that's not comics for me. And I get that. Like, if that's a deal breaker for you, it's a fair and honest assessment. Yellow Flash thought that this art was just complete trash and rubbish. It's not. It's not traditional comic book art. It's good art that's not really traditional, if that makes sense. This guy knows what he's doing. He's a solid artist. He's just not, his illustrations aren't traditional comic illustrations. I cannot say enough good things about this book. I mean, if the artist was Ron Lim, right? Or someone that was really, I don't want to say, like, not necessarily a better artist, just a more accessible, a more widely popular artist that, I think people would be all over this book. But then again, I also think this book would be losing something. I don't think Ron Lim could do this book. It would be a fine book. It'd still be a great book, but it wouldn't be like this. This is cosmic and stellar. It's just, this guy's growing on me. I don't want to see him doing all sorts of books, but for a 5-issue miniseries of this, it was kind of back in the day when Stan Lee did a Silver Surfer story with Mobius. Here it is. If you've never seen this, I was not a Mobius fan at the time. I was like, oh, Mobius, it doesn't really like it. It didn't really resonate with me, especially for Silver Surfer. I was like, what happened to Silver Surfer? He looks like Iceman. Like, he doesn't look like, he's not silver. But here, I read this book, and it is one of the best Silver Surfer stories I have ever read. And by the time it was done, this art, which I was like, ugh, Mobius, and you may be looking at this now going, ugh. By the time it was done, I was like, I don't like it. It works for me. It's now synonymous with the story. I don't think anyone could have done it. And this is one of the all-time great Silver Surfer stories. I totally encourage you to read it. It was like a 2-issue, 4-issue miniseries. I can't remember, but it's now collected as here, the Parable. There's different covers. No. I don't know how to use my iPad. Back to this one. Kind of same thing. So hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. Stan, you understand. You totally get it. I think Stan is proud of this book. Donny Cates is proud of Stan. Inspired by Stan Lee, he wrote a really beautiful, touching letter about Stan Lee in the end of the first issue. I'm just babbling now. Huge thumbs up for me. Huge thumbs up. I would hesitate to give it 5 stars because there's some confusing parts in the beginning, and the art is, well, like I said, I'm defending it. I can't, proclaim like its greatness. Also, I don't like this. Don't do photos. I hate when they draw on top of photos, especially when it's Jupiter. Like he's not anywhere near Jupiter. So, 5 stars for this book is probably too much. So, because of that confusion, please, if I'm missing something, if I read something wrong, put in the comments about this time displacement, how the narrative's going. Is this actually a flashback, or is Silver Surfer fighting in this? I'm confused. I'm gonna have to go back and read the first issue again and try to piece it all together. I don't know, but it's not really important to the overall plot and what's going on, so you could still enjoy it even if you're confused. Go out and get this book. It's one of the few Marvel books I highly recommend. And remember, Milky Way is trash. Forky understands. He likes trash a lot. I'll see you next time. I'm just been blabbering on and on. Thanks for watching.